Hey everyone, and welcome to 40 Pints, where we drink like the booze is free.
Hey bro, it's my job. Get up.
Please remain seated.
Hey everyone, welcome to 40 Pints, where we drink like the booze is free. Today we got my brother on the show, Joel Kraus, business development. Welcome.
Thanks, man.
You got it. I've been waiting to get you on. It's I think there's like Brothers Day coming up or something, and that's why we also have this in the schedule.
Okay.
But everyone that comes on gets to choose their drink of choice, and despite my issues with heartburn, you decided a margarita, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm always wasting away in Margaritaville.
Is this one of your favorite drinks all year, or is this time of year specifically?
Probably more of a summer drink, but catch me once in a while drinking one in the middle of the winter if I get to the right place.
Awesome. Well, you want to make them for us?
Sure. Yeah.
You could probably stand up. We could probably speed lapse this. Cool.
Beat glasses. Yeah, I gotta get it salty. I like a good amount of tequila in there. And then I also featured today the Coronas with it because I like to follow through with a little Corona.
All right.
On the back end.
I won't argue with you there. Oh, I guess we could have cut those for you.
I think that's good.
Okay, sweet.
We got a little,
Cheers, bro.
Cheers. Wasting away.
Awesome margarita, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. These go right down the hatch pretty well.
I like the ones that you get in Miami, where you get the Corona in the margarita, because I know we're going to follow it with a Corona, but like you could do two things at once.
So I like that, and I definitely get where you're coming from, but I also like the concentrated taste that you still get from the tequila. When you throw the beer in there, then it waters it down. But when you pour it in the back end, then it's like that lime twist. Super good.
All right, fair enough. Well, we'll do it your way today. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What'd you do before Kraus Marketing?
I was in the car business. I was always in sales, but really before Kraus, I was in the car business. I really did pretty much everything from filing to running the entire stores. Actually, last positions were just really right down the street at Bridgewater. So
Nice.
yeah.
What do you like about sales so much?
Like you're always trying to think about what they need and how to overcome any objections, any issues, any stop interferences that's going to create them doing business, and trying to be accommodative to people in that way, in that sense, and being able to provide them something that gives back. It's huge, you know.
Why did you move from the automotive industry into marketing?
Where does that begin? Automotive industry was awesome. I mean, it was just, it was a different commitment. It was a different commitment that really just didn't allow for personal life in any level. And I think probably some of the newer car companies have changed that, like your Carvanas and TrueCar. But, I mean...
The hours are long.
Retail hours.
Yeah.
You know, you only had Sunday off, and that was by law.
Right.
Otherwise, they'd make you work, and there's
Right.
no question about that. You
Yeah.
know, so you'd be working 7 days a week, sometimes 14 hours a day, and you know, for what that's worth, it was just an opportunity to do something and change something different. You know.
So what was your first job?
I probably have to go.
Like ever?
I would say probably selling popcorn at the beach or delivering newspapers, I guess, was the legitimate one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, either way, both sales jobs from a very early age.
Yeah.
You know, always kind of doing that stuff. But I guess if you think about it from a real level of employment and getting an actual paycheck, it would have been the Suburban Trends.
Sure. And And as far as marketing goes and the industry, what's your favorite part about that?
I don't know. I guess, maybe some people say I'm a little bit of a ham, and I like watching things be put in spotlight. So I think that's a really, unique aspect of what you're able to do is, why we're not necessarily closing the deals for the clients and things of that nature, to make an unknown thing become an essence of everybody's awareness is just an amazing thing, to turn that around. I don't know what that brand is. I don't know who those people are.
Right.
I don't know. And all of a sudden you're reading articles. I mean, you were in Forbes last week.
Right.
I mean, that in itself, right, is a fun story. And that's from marketing in itself,
Yep.
as the time progresses. I mean, all those things are super cool to watch and explode like that.
I think for me, it's the creative end of things. It's there's a lot of different industries which work for different mindsets, but it's 1 + 1 = 2, and I think marketing is a very creative field where you could make a lot of different decisions and choices that still have amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely not a cookie cutter method kind of thing.
Right.
Like, there's always definitely the ability to go in and well, let's try this for you because this might fit,
Right.
I mean, or let's do this kind of angle, or let's say this kind of message, or position you in the market like this,
Right.
like all those different opportunities that are just not
Right, yeah, a lot of decisions, and I think that makes things fun. It changes things up for you too,
I agree.
So, I mean, you've been working here almost 10 years?
Yeah.
So, tell us about an awesome client success story.
I don't know. There's so many of them. I mean, I remember my first one, just a dog walker, a little small company, but they're awesome. I mean, get a lot of awareness, use our services for what they need them for, and have been a client for, 10 years to that point. One of my first clients. More recently, probably is I have a medical client. They're opening up their third office, talk about watching things grow and people becoming aware and so on and so forth. It was, they had been starting on the opening really of a second office when they started with us. We did all sorts of different campaigns and work for them, organic through paid. And actually, by happenstance, they're right down the street. They're opening up another shop right down the street from where I live, which is pretty cool, So it's just to watch a company like that, ironically, 2 other brothers, but just get to open up a whole company, and do that.
Speaking of brothers, there was another big construction company that we got to brand years ago, and we were helping to rebrand them, or update their imagery and messaging, I should say. So not a complete rebrand from the logo, but from the logo forward, which is, I think, pretty cool.
Yeah, what's cool about that one, the trucks are sitting in the space.
I know the lot across the street.
The lot where the old building used to be. Mm-hmm. That's full circle.
I'm chewing ice on a microphone. That's probably not what I should be doing. Well, I'm just talking. You could. Your hat's just a little crooked. I don't know if you're going gangster or not, but
always gangster, straight thug.
So, of course, we got great clients that come back. We got clients that are legacy clients for years. Tell me about a nightmare client, because I'm sure there's some other marketing people and just anyone in customer service that's looking to commiserate with you about a terrible client.
I mean, sure. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's there's definitely been some bad clients. I'm definitely, that's half full right there. And I always look at the fact that people are trying to do a lot of things at a lot of different points, and just specifically where we exist in their sphere, sometimes I think that we are not always actually the cause of their frustration, just an area where they're able to vent it, and it's not going to cause them any harm. They're not yelling at a direct employee that they have to see every day.
Right.
They're not getting cranky about money with their significant other or something along those lines. They're literally just calling you up like a phone call therapist, like everything's wrong in the world. I can't do it. I don't want to go on anymore. So on and so forth. Come here, Mr. Client, Miss Client. Let's step off the ledge. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
let's just go through the motions here. What do we need to work with you, and how can we help? And then it goes back to that.
I appreciate your positivity. I'll call it like I see it. I think those people are immature.
Yeah.
And I think that they are, sometimes unethical. Sometimes they, sometimes the angriest people are some of the worst paying people, and the ones that take the most advantage of you. So.
That's a fair truth. I think one thing, I've always seen that in sales is the people that are able to do things, fruitfully are usually more positive, right?
Yeah.
The better paying clients are usually the better clients as an overall.
Yeah.
And, maybe that's because it's reciprocal on the service, but maybe it's because of the fact that, as opposed to worrying about that piece, they're truly concerned about the growth and the real essence of what we're doing here.
Right. Yeah. I think we've done better with being able to select who we work with over the years. And limit those interactions, but it's interesting how these people get in.
I also think though, when you consider, just even where we were, going back 5 years ago, and maybe that's part of it as well, is that those clients have become less and less because of the processes that have been put in place now over the years. Right. Everybody's getting certain amount of service and levels on a consistent linear basis.
And if we go more positive too, I know for the most part, a lot of the clients have gotten larger, which means that they're in a more mature part of their business structure and organization, which means that they also have more mature interactions as well.
True. Well, to your point, I think, when you say they're a little bit immature. Sorry, it's mid-break. This is where I take the Corona. Get thirsty. Thanks, bro. This goes in here. And now some people say, hey, drinking beer on ice, it's a weird thing. Whatever the case may be. But
let me see my knife back.
This makes things really, it's like the lime now. A little touch of tequila.
Right. Seems, I guess it is a lot like just drinking a margarita.
It's a Coronita, right?
Coronita, yeah.
I think
it's like we're
it's
in Miami.
heavenly.
I feel like I'm in Miami right now.
I feel like I should have worn my Miamis.
So what's the best part about your job?
Oh, man. Working with you, bro.
What's the second best thing about your job?
Okay, now it gets tricky. Now where do I start? No, I honestly, it's pretty cool. A lot of people, I think really truthfully, it is a lot of times really truthfully working with you. It's fun. You handle a lot of the crazy minutia that I probably would never be able to deal with, and I get to work in a way that a lot of people don't even still understand. They're still like, wait, you work for your brother, and he's like you're the older brother, and it's like, yeah, and it's great, and it's a great synergy. There's so many things that are positive, and and I say that as probably like a macro because you look at what's become of the whole organization, the whole company as a total. There's been definitely some growing pains and things of that nature, but showing up to work, everybody smiling, everybody happy, everybody working together, no bad moods. Even talking about tough clients, it's very rare that everybody's like, let's just throw in the towel and, call it. Let's get in a group, let's huddle together, let's see what we could do right by this client. And everybody's professional and positive, and all those things collectively really make it what's cool about showing up every day. I worked in a very toxic environment prior to this. It was you got to be there every day, all the time.
Right.
Oh, there's a party on a holiday, get into work. Oh, there's family time that you need. There's a last minute deal that came in too. Oh my God, that mental disparity of what is that work-life balance, and then coming in here with people that are yeah, I want to be. Store doesn't open until 9. 15 people come in here before 8 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
What does that say about what you're coming into? Everything about it is fun.
I
the pool table and stuff.
Well, I agree. We do have a a pretty cool team. I think we've done a really good job of keeping it very positive here, and I think that maybe that tends to attract more of the positive and better clients as well, because it's all about the laws of attraction, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's not one person around here that like is an oddball, I would say, like
Right.
in that respect, or like.
I mean, there's some oddballs, but not like...
not like that though.
I agree.
I myself am an oddball by that measure.
No, but they
so.
exemplify.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. So, obviously, there's people, there's people that like feel that sales is a 4-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a really important role in every organization, and I think the word "think" is it's factual, right? It is one of the most critical roles in every organization, but a lot of people don't want to get into it. Why would you urge someone to get into business development?
It's just fun every day. Like there's something new every day. The monotony does not exist. I don't know. I could tell the same service or idea about a thing or an object or whatever it may be that I'm selling, if you will, and there's a different reaction on the other end all the time, and you have to be on your toes. And if you enjoy that kind of like that ability to kind of always be moving around and look for a little bit of excitement as opposed to monotony, that's I think a really something that sales will always deliver on. It's not to say other jobs or other areas of life don't do that as well. I just think that sales really to your point, everybody is selling. If you're a lawyer, you have to sell yourself because they have to believe that you could win the case. If you're a construction person, they have to believe that you could get it built, right? I mean, like you have to, so you might not be selling the particular wood.
If you're a project manager that needs one of your production people to get the job done quickly, you got to sell them on.
Right. So sometimes like you are in essence always selling for regardless of what you're doing, but like the idea of like really true.
I think it's a transaction of money. I think gets people uncomfortable. And really gets people concerned, and that's why they stay away from that part of the business.
Money is a tricky thing to talk about for a lot of people. I think they're definitely it's not uncommon for to be in sales and talking numbers that you personally don't necessarily deal with all the time, right?
Especially at the size of numbers that we talk about, right? Yeah,
sure.
I mean. We're talking
You're a commercial real estate agent. You might be talking about a $500 million building, but you might not personally own any commercial real estate. But you have to be comfortable and positive in talking about such a thing. Like
correct.
You have to.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest learning curves is just understanding that numbers are relative to the things you're talking about, not relative to your bank account.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But with a high risk, high reward, right? I mean, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of compensation with it for sure. Yep.
And the opportunity, I think, one of the biggest things too is kind of the opportunity to really write your own, check at the end of the month to a certain extent, right? A lot of times there's commissions wrapped around what is sales, You're gonna go out and hustle a little extra, do a little extra, get an extra deal in, whatever you can do. And God bless you. That's probably more money in the bank at the end of the day.
What's the favorite thing that you're seeing in marketing recently?
It's probably the video. It's got to be the video. It's auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, right? Like see, touch, hear. And that nails 2 out of 3 really, right off the bat. And really, on a certain weird level, the way the devices are at this point, you're touching it as well. Like it's literally almost hits all pieces and components. And I think it's just interesting on how people are able to tell their stories. I mean, just seeing how even trends in what is video content and things of that nature are being received and delivered. I mean, it's great to watch, a long 2-hour clip, but it's also really exciting to watch like 15 5-minute clips, and like you went all across the world, globe, industries, things, this, that, all sorts of content that
10
you're doing.
and 15 second clips.
Yeah.
And all you do is just scroll through another video, need another one, need another one,
Yep.
need another one.
And you can't watch it more than 3 or 4 times because then
know.
you get like mind numb to it.
I know, and text just doesn't do it as much as it used to, right? So
Long
which
way of-
makes me wonder about Elon and Twitter because it's like here we are just looking at text.
Yeah.
Not to mention they have no revenue.
Yeah. Well, today I think they came out and said it was like 60% bots or something.
Is that right?
Whatever. Who knows? But
Yeah.
point being, moreover, is that we have come a long way from 07734, right, on a beeper,
Right.
and to that effect, that's really what does come next. I mean, like even
What does
the
that
VR.
spell?
Hello.
Oh, I was waiting.
07734. I think that's how it used
Yeah,
to go.
that's
Hello.
right.
14 is high.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
That's funny.
Because you used to wear it on your hip.
Yeah.
When you read. Anyway. But no, I mean that and I think it's starting to get more and more, and it's more exciting. Is like the ability of what is AR and VR. Those are fun too. And I think that ties into video on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
But the experience and how you're able to experience it now too is very unique.
Well, I mean, I guess it just ties into more visual movement, right? As opposed to what was the world of a lot of static images. Mm-hmm. That was, the digital world is now changing quite significantly and very quickly to all moving.
Yeah.
Images. It's video. It's metaverse.
It's all around.
Yeah. I saw this meme the other day, and it said it had someone sitting next to. Speaking of static, had someone sitting next to the TV, and then it says your mom would say you sat too close to the TV, and then it showed someone wearing the the Oculus, and it said, "What do we tell our kids?" You know,
It's true. Wow, and I guess so, right? But I mean, they're thinking about those things now at this point, working with the eyeballs, making sure they're not stressing so you can keep that thing on
I don't
longer
know,
so you're not
maybe.
ruin their
I don't know.
eyesight.
I don't
I don't
know
know.
about
I don't
that.
think any
I
of
don't
our
think-
children are going to be able to see over the dashboard of a car. Not that they're going to need to because it's going to be auto driving, but that's a whole other rabbit hole.
I got it. This is a question someone asked me to ask you. Was how's your computer doing?
My computer. Oh. Well, it is officially the oldest in the office. It is, but it's like some people carry around an iPhone 4 still, or any like Google product, whatever. But it's just it works. It does what it needs to do, and it's good. But I mean, I the other thing was too is that just as full disclosure, so we could get it out there, I did take the opportunity to pass on several because I didn't like when there was that iPhone camera iteration where it's a blurry cam. I like my camera in my computer.
Oh, gotcha.
There's a lot of people that have new computers, fancy touch tabs, fuzzy screen. Blows my mind. I don't like that. I don't like that. I can't. So anyway.
So tell me a little bit about where you think you see marketing going. So we've seen a big evolution, right, of marketing, but in the last decade, it's definitely changed a lot from websites and SEO, and the beginning of social media to what it is now. What do you think? What do you think's next?
I mean, I think probably augmented reality is going to be huge. I mean, the one that I saw, it was building like you could do Roblox now, and you could build like AR, so you can start digging holes like in the ground, like in front of you. So that in its own right is going to be pretty cool because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity where you're like literally walking down the street, have a set of glasses on, see everything normal in life, except now when you look at the billboards, they're not digital anymore. They're just spaces that, perform with your glasses that now give you specifically your own advertisements, or wherever you look, maybe it highlights, a certain store or something because it sees that, it's available for you. That I think is going to be the most, and we see a lot of that already, right? I mean, you see that in Google Maps, you have a lot of that stuff, where the cop car is, this, that, and the other thing. That's all kind of basic augmented reality, right? You're building a system.
Yeah, right.
So to that effect when you're driving down the street now and you just have a set of glasses and it kind of puts a pin over
Well,
them.
it's interesting. So, like, I've heard the glasses thing, and I agree. I think that's like an Oculus, like, kind of next step is, right, where you move to something. But in theory, we all have our phones on us, and they could track whose phone is there. And for that reason, but then I guess it would require digital billboards. But a billboard could show me something different based on.
Yeah, then you'd have to have like those like micro fines, so every angle is a different angle for every person.
Yeah, and then you'd have to have a lot of hardware.
Like I guess I think about it like this: is that they're gonna, when we started with cell phones, they were pretty much as big as this thing,
right?
And now like they're tablets or computers. I mean, we could do
right.
literally more than the brother word processor that we ever had.
Right. Yeah,
it was a monster.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think you start off with glasses, right? And then all of a sudden they figure out how to do that in a contact lens with like a little like wireless line, or maybe they put a charging pad on the side of your head. All this is patent, and then they put it, and then it beams into your lens. But point being is like I would personally throw on contacts. I might not wear glasses, but like I could throw on contacts or something and be like, oh, okay. We are at the beach.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. I think that's possible. Like, I don't know if that's a decade out or 20 years out or in 2 years, but I think that's possible. I think augmented reality is a big next step. But
the other thing I think that's going to play a huge role, and I think it's just I don't know how it plays out in entirety, but is the fact that cars will auto drive is now going to leave back a huge area of opportunity to no longer do. Like maybe you get your streaming services and you want to listen to the radio, but if you truly don't have to drive, then in essence you're going to start wanting to watch something visually, right? Because you could kind of sit back and relax and watch something visually. Now, if you're watching something visually, the opportunity to serve up an ad within that content is going to be a huge thing. So I think it's just a micro angle.
Yeah, I mean that's just almost using that TV lens as a TV.
Yeah.
I think and again, to go back to the augmented reality, I think the biggest thing with consumer participation with that is then either people have to wear glasses, or you have to figure out how to get a lens in between them and the advertising and the marketing. Which, right? Because I'm not putting on glasses. Well,
I wear sunglasses.
I guess sunglasses. Yeah.
I wear sunglasses. I mean, at the end of the day, if, like, I looked in the mirror and I had, like, hair again because I had the augmented reality glasses, I'd be like, sweet.
But someone else has to be wearing them, too.
Hey, man, it's in my head. I feel good. Self-perception is a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. Do we have a list of quick questions, rapid-fire questions? We do have a list of rapid-fire questions for you.
Perfect.
Awesome. On to this part of this segment. Have you ever been on TV?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I did a commercial.
I know what you did, bro.
I did.
Okay, stranded on a desert island. What was one thing you were going to bring? Rapid fire.
Knife.
Favorite hobby?
Fishing.
Favorite car?
Mustang.
Favorite
69 Mustang.
Favorite type
Mustangela.
Favorite type of cereal?
Oh, God. Granola.
Favorite networking icebreaker?
Oh,
It's like
I don't even know. I'm me. Yeah. I'm the icebreaker.
Favorite go-to karaoke song?
Oh, God. Wagon Wheel? I don't know. I just know it really well.
If you had a reality TV show, what would the name be?
Awesomeness.
What was your major in college?
Biology, I think technically. Pre-med.
What is your hidden talent?
I could whistle with my hand.
Where was your last vacation?
Florida.
Someone you admire?
Who I admire?
You just afraid to say it.
No.
Okay, on a
LeBron.
Scale,
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
I like LeBron James.
Well, that's not what I expected you to say. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you?
I'm probably like a 8.5.
All right. Someone told me that you could just believe to be a 10.
I know.
And then you're a 10.
No, I mean, like, I have like some weird points.
Something you are most afraid of.
Being broke.
And so besides a margarita, what would be your second choice of drink?
Scotch.
Awesome. Cheers, brother. Thanks for the honesty.
Yeah.
Remain seated.